What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Stratis. Now, you'll see from the title, look, I think this can do some gains, but they're actually quite underwhelming in terms of the gains that I think they can have, in spite of the fact that I actually really like this as a project. Um, I think the team are really good and they're supplying enterprise services, and they have done for banks and tons of different sort of industries. But I just can't see the gains right now. So I'll cover this and why in this video. But before I get into it, guys, if you're new to the channel, these are the first 26 coins I spoke about on this channel. They're also the ones I owned when I created the channel. Had you put in just $100 into each of these coins when I released videos about them, and then you were still holding them. You never sold them. You just rode them into a recession, um, doing everything wrong. Even if you had done all of that, you'd still be in profit for 10.2k if you sold them right now. But if you'd have sold these at the back end of 2021 when the markets were absolutely red hot, $100 into each could have netted you a profit of 123 grand. Big difference between doing the right and the wrong thing. Now, as I said, sold all these off in 2021. These are not what I own. If you want to see my current portfolio, you can do. You just have to go to copymycrypto.com. It's where I share every coin I own. Every time I buy or sell a coin, the members are alerted straight away. Um, we release videos on a daily basis talking about the markets. We've absolutely been nailing it for the last few months. Hell, on Friday, I even predicted the hour, like the 4 hour window where Bitcoin was going to make a move. And it blasted up above 22k. Um, so if you're interested in that, we do have that on the channel as well, on the site. And on top of that, guys, we have a history of success on both the channel and the site, not least of which is obviously Phantom, which was a course I created for in 2020, where I said it'd be the best investment of 2020. Ended up running up 677 times in price. So 2 grand into it would have netted you a profit of 1.3 million. Now I'll find another Phantom, and when I do, I'm going to go on to, I'm not going to do a course like last time. I'm just going to go onto my site. I'm going to tell the members about the coin, the gains I think it can have, the percentage of the money that I'm putting in, and they can copy along and get the next big gainer. And if that interests you and you want to do that, go read the site. And remember, everything you read on there, you can personally verify yourself on the YouTube channel's history. And maybe I'll see you there, guys. So Stratis, currently priced at 51 cents. And the circulating supply is currently 145 mil. Um, in the 2017-18 bull cycle, it had a proper run. It went from like when it launched in 26 at the end of 2016, it was tiny, 5 cents, and there was a point where it was under 2 cents, and it ran all the way up to 200. Sorry, to $20 basically. Last year, really underwhelming gains of like ran up to about $4 from a low of effectively around 25 cents or thereabouts, which is about an 8x. Currently is priced at 51 cents. My honest take is that maybe it runs back up to $3, but that's about it. I can't really see too much gains. That chart looks miserable. That as a long-term chart, that is a bad chart. But Stratis is a quality project. They're a blockchain as a service platform, and they offer tons of products and services for enterprises. And the main thing that they're looking for is, you know, actually providing a service that enterprises and, whether they're businesses, whether they're banks, can use and benefit around them. So through the employment of their consensus mechanism known as proof of authority, the blockchain as a service technology can scale and handle far greater throughput than other blockchain solutions. A defined set of distributed block producers ensure transactions are validated and processed rapidly. Um, and their solution provides the ability to scale at will and thus does not experience congestion that we have seen, resulting in the huge sort of increase in costs. And they have been working again. They have worked with a number of banks. They've worked with a number of enterprises, They also have their blockchain as a service is also secured by masternodes. The masternodes have huge percentage yields. You're basically looking at about 28%. Either way, you can do cold staking or run a sidechain masternode. Huge percent rewards, but that obviously means um, you've got an inflated currency. They do not have effectively a max supply. This will continue to rise over the course of time. Um, Presently, you've got what 34, so let's call it 30, well, 34.49% of the total tokens being staked. So, basically a third, right? Let's just call it a third. So a third of the overall tokens are staked, and then and then more are going to be produced at a rate of 28% per year. So then you're looking at, effectively, let's call it 50 million tokens, thereabouts. So roughly 50 million tokens being staked. 28% of 50 million is 14 million tokens. So there's going to be another 14 million produced this year, and we'll see how that develops over the course of sort of each year. But 14 million produced, 14 million more produced. So the supply continues to rise. Um, and in spite of the fact that they really do have, um, a good service here, I just, my honest thoughts are I just can't see the run because fundamentally there's a couple of things with Stratus. There's not huge marketing for Stratus. Um, the ecosystem is not particularly good. They can do smart contracts, um, and yes, they do run masternodes. Masternodes quite often do draw money in. However, that has been reducing over the time. Look at Dash. Dash didn't touch it anywhere close to its all-time high this past in the 2021 cycle. Um, you can do smart contracts in one of the most popular coding languages in the world um, through Stratus, which actually does simplify the process, but they have nothing in terms of a sort of monitor incentivization mechanism for developers. So developers are not necessarily going to be flocking here um, at all, and we've seen that because there's not really a particularly large ecosystem in and around this. Um, they've got a few products. You can see Stratosphere is Stratus's zero fee NFT marketplace. Um, you can see that they've got a few use cases with regards to some games and op decks, but fundamentally, this is a very small ecosystem, um, and until they're really onboarding um, and sharing all the people that they onboard, I don't see a clamoring. Like they've got a couple of things that for me they have to do to really grow this. And marketing effectively has got to be a big one. Number two is sharing anyone that whose services they have, sharing any enterprise that they've worked with. So you can see that their solutions have provided real benefit for any particular enterprise. That's a big marketing tool that could be utilized. Then on top of that, there needs to be sort of an ecosystem grants um, system in place. So developers are going to flock there because developers aren't flocking here. Um, because there's no reason for them to go here when they could go somewhere else and potentially get a reward for doing so. They do have a decentralized accelerator. Um, Now ah, that has your 13 million. So that allows you to fund projects. Okay, so they've got that. That's not bad, right? So at least they've got that in place. That actually isn't too bad. 13 million, not a ton of money compared to some of the ones out there, but more than enough to get Kick to actually implement, and more than enough to incentivize some developers to come there. So it would be good to start seeing products growing and actually like presenting an ecosystem more fluidly. Like there isn't even just an ecosystem map, like how so Opdex. Yeah, there's no ecosystem map here. That would be quite nice, Stratus, like just a visual imagery where you can see what is and has been built upon Stratus. We've got Opdex, we've got Hash Battle, whatever this is. You know, they've got Kiki Games, which has changed to Trivia Legends. Um, yeah, so they've got a few things, but again, small, small, and there's not really a solid excuse in that they've been up and running since 2016, and they've really, really, really haven't got an ecosystem that has grown. Um, so when you're looking at it and you're looking at the long-term chart, which looks grim, you're looking at the lack of ecosystem development. I still think this can probably have some gains, maybe back up to $2 or $3. Probably, to be honest, three is about the maximum I would expect to see. Um, it's just 6x, which is not bad. But it is far lower than a lot of the cryptos out there are going to have. Um, blockchain as a service is a really good idea. Um, however, again, in terms of the cryptos in the space right now, a lot of other cryptos are far further along in terms of blockchain as a service than Stratus are. So they need to catch up as well as grow. And you go off of evidence. It's 2023 now. They launched in like December of 2016, so they've been up and running for about, a little over 6 years. And there's not enough evidence that they've grown. So I can't logically expect them to grow significantly over the next year or so because they've not done it for 6 years, which is why I think they're limited in the growth that they can have. Now, maybe the masternode is the best way, or the staking is the best way to capitalize on some gains with Stratus because at least 28% return. And then if it does make say it runs up to $3, that's a 6x. You've also got an additional 28%, so you're more like a 7, nearly 30%, so you're more like a 7.8x after a year of staking, um, which isn't bad. But again, I just think there are better options out there. But what do you guys think? And if you were looking for blockchain as a service, which cryptos in particular interest you with blockchain as a service? For me, I think Coty is one where they've got really good setup for enterprises. Um, I think they're a lot further along with enterprises. But let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? And if you're a returning viewer, hit the subscribe button. It helps the channel and the videos will make you money. And guys, if you want to see the coins I own right now, go to copymycrypto.com. Check the site out. It's where I share the portfolio I own. Every coin I buy or sell, the members get real-time updates anytime that happens. We release videos on a daily basis talking about the markets, which we've been nailing absolutely. Within the last 3 months, we've been within like 0.1% of the move Bitcoin's made on damn near a daily basis. Not to mention on Friday, we even not only predicted the move, but predicted the time of the move, the 4-hour window. Um, so if you want to see what the markets are going to be doing, you're going to want to watch those videos. And on top of that, guys, look, we have beginner tutorial set up if you're brand new to crypto. And then on top of that, a huge history of success on the channel, on the site. Phantom leads the way in that regard. It gained 677 times in price from when I did a course calling it the best investment of the year. And remember, no one in 2020, you won't find a single crypto YouTuber in 2020 that was making a big shout about Phantom other than me. I said it would 100x or more, and it did very much that. And I will find another one. And when I do, no course, I'm just going to go onto my site. I'm going to tell my members about the coin, gains it can have, the percentage that I'm putting into it, and they can copy along and make the same gains. And if that interests you and you want to do that, go read the site. And remember, everything you read, you can verify yourself on the YouTube channel's history. And maybe, guys, I'll see you there. Take it easy. Bye bye.